are you today?
How are you?
It's my, hey.
How are you?
Yeah, it's Monday and it's warm.
It's almost summertime, isn't it?
It's actually like July today.
Right, roll under thunderstorm tonight.
Yeah,
We've been pretty fortunate this year with
Missing the hail.
that missing the hail, our mild
We ready?
temperature and the wonderful rain.
Okay, it is 1:15. We will reconvene as the Lincoln County Board of Equalization. And before us, we have, state your name, please.
Bill Wattoon.
Mr. Bill Wattoon, Arnold, Nebraska. He is here with 7 protests. They are all on property. Protest number 153, protest number 154, protest number 155, 156, 157, and 158, and 159.
is that one? No, that's just Woodson. No, no, on 18th Street. Bill lives up east of me.
Okay, do I read in each one of these property IDs or do them singly? Okay, first protest is 153. Mr. Bill Wattoon, Arnold, Nebraska, property ID of 110385. This is the northwest quarter of 19-16-26, 59.69 acres. What is being protested is land at $161,179, buildings of $100,000 for a total of $261,179. He's requesting the land at $110,000, buildings at $100,000, total land and building then of $210,000. The reason for the protest, and there was no appointment for the referee. I believe the assessed value of the property is excessive. The assessed property tax increase has far exceeded the rate of growth of the economy. So I think I'll let you, Mr. Wattoon, state your reasons for requesting this valuation change.
First of all, we're in a drought area. I know we've gotten rain, but we're still in a drought area. Some of the crops up there are hurting in the area and pasture also. And another big complaint is the road service. And it's just shameful. And my neighbors have plowed the county roads in the winter clear out to Highway 83. So a neighbor can get out and the school bus can get out. I was without mail service 5 days because the mail route was not plowed open. Get somebody that can run the maintainer and have him live near the maintainer, not clear over in Arnold so he can't get to it over east or over west.
Okay?
Noxious weeds in the road ditch is another complaint. They need to get on that.
Which noxious weeds are you referring to?
Musk thistle,
Muscus, okay.
yes. I haven't done anything to extend the value of my building site. The pasture down there on that tract land has no water to it. They have to come up to the building site to get water.
Okay, so this particular piece of property has a building on it. Is this your residence, sir?
Yes,
Okay,
you did say 385, didn't you?
385, yes,
Yeah,
sir, that's
yeah.
it. Looks like you have a few outbuildings, the house is there. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read to you the information from the county assessor's office. Julie, you worked on these, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and she is recommending no change, see attached letter, and I need to find that letter, and I can't find it yet. Julie, would you want to speak to that while I'm searching for that letter?
Yeah, basically in my letter, I go on to give the statistics for the land values in market area two, what they were before I started and where they're at now as to, after I did increase the valuations in market area two. So I fall within statutory range now. For Nebraska state statute, we value ag land based on a 3-year sales ratio period. We cannot take into account, income or production on ag land as far as when we go to set our valuations. It's based on sales only. So that's what's unfortunate, in the dry years, I am not able to make adjustments due to no crops or very little grass or anything like that.
It's based on a 3-year current sales, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
3-year current
May I
sales.
make a comment on that? There were 2 sales in my area that were bought by investors from out of state, and they paid a huge premium above market value on that property.
Unfortunately, there's nothing in Nebraska state statute that says that we have to throw out out-of-state buyer sales.
At one time there was.
As long as we, it's an arm's length transaction, willing buyer and willing seller, it's on the open market. If it's a 1031 exchange and we have that information, we're able to make some adjustments then, or maybe, not have it on our sales file that we look at. A lot of times in similar situations, you'll get a neighbor that owns the bordering property that will pay a high premium price for the same reason, because they want the ground, they don't want that out-of-state investor.
Most recent sale sold and they planned to subdivide it into subdivisions and put homes along the Garfield Blacktop.
And once they do that, that will no longer be considered an ag sale. If we know that's gonna happen, that sale will be kicked out as an ag land and it will go into a residential rural site, sale. So we do watch for those as well, once we get any type of subdivision filed or a plat filed, showing that it's subdivided. And then
Has
also,
that subdivision started?
not that I am aware
Not
of.
that I'm aware of either, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Julie, I'm sorry.
And then as far as the buildings went, there was no evidence provided whatsoever on anything for us to warrant any changes on the building. The building values increased this year due to the fact of that, the updated cost tables like everybody, got within the county. We went from the 2010 material cost to the 2020 material costing. So all the ag and rural residential improvements got that, as well as, the in-town, the city got those new cost tables as well. Villages, everything got the new costing tables except for the commercial, because we just redid those. So,
Okay. So, yeah, I found the letter, Julie.
Okay.
You detailed that very nicely. Mr. Wattoon, do you understand what?
Yeah, I understand. I just don't totally agree. And I realize valuations have went up, but if we're not doing anything to improve our property, why should our valuations go up?
Well, unfortunately, it oftentimes has to do with what happens on the property next door to us. Unfortunately, that's what they are required by statute to follow. Whether you or I agree with it or not, that's the statutes they have to follow. Any questions from the board?
now if you guys ever want me to zoom in closer or do something different with this aerial imagery, please, if you want to know where the proximity is from North Platte or
Julie,
Logan,
did you look
yeah.
at the property? Or look at?
Physically went out there and inspected it, you mean?
Yeah, how did you make your evaluation of all this, or, your assessment of?
Well, my land, the ag land, I look at all the sales within that 3 years ratio period. As far as the buildings and stuff go, my appraisers were there and did their physical inspections.
Okay, so that's what I was getting at, was you did have.
It's been, I said, I think it might have been a year or two ago, let me see.
It was part of that, when those got revisited
Yep.
in the 3-year
Yep.
cycle or whatever.
Yes,
Okay.
I think it looks like it may be in 2020 is when we last did that area specifically, so. So I did look at them then.
I make a point of the fact that, Bill, values went up, mine went up a lot, but, that doesn't necessarily mean your tax obligation is gonna go up. That, you know, we've held the line 3 years running now on tax asking, so, as Jerry points out, state statute requires this is the way it works, and we don't have any, they don't have any control over that. In fact, 5 years I've been around these, more times than not, Lincoln County gets called on the carpet because they're not moving them up high enough. We're below the average, and there's a median in there that they require, and they'll come in and make her blanket move a certain area of housing or property or real estate, ground or houses by a factor of 1.17 or some nature of that, just because they're lower than the state sees common properties in that category. So it is, you know, contrary to some's belief that this
Does
is
North Platte
arbitrary.
want,
It's not arbitrary, we're stuck with guidelines we have to follow.
does North Platte want the farmer's business?
Well, that's got nothing to do with this.
Well,
You know, this is all about, complying with state statute. I agree with you that I don't like the structure of the property valuations, but we didn't set it. The state does.
I'm
we
just
have to live
commenting
with it.
about, there's a lot of grain that's gonna go east this year because they're not gonna travel that Garfield blacktop.
Well, in about 60 days, they're gonna have a brand new overlay on it, so.
All 11 miles.
Be more power to it if they get that done.
Well, it's the
definitely
one and only priority overlay this year.
It's terrible
And I
shape.
signed the contract this morning to do that.
So-
But, yeah, our hands, you know, the law, the statutes are what they are, and, whether we can generate enough income off of rural ag property to pay all the expenses, that happens just as unfortunate. That's the way it is, and that is unfortunate.
I'd like to go back to them roads. There were times this winter that you couldn't travel them with, unless you had a four-wheel drive vehicle.
Was that on,
That was-
On Wattoon Road.
That was countywide. That was countywide with the exorbitant amount of snow. You can't expect to snap your fingers and have all the roads open. It's,
Well,
You
I
know that.
realize
You
that.
grew up out
but
there,
we-
just like I-
We opened ourselves so the school bus could get out, the mail route could come. Because he didn't come over there.
in the 42 years I've lived where I lived, I've opened the road myself as well. It sometimes necessitates, we do
Well,
for
you
ourselves.
said you have 63 machines in the county.
Bill, we can't be everywhere instantaneously. You know better than that.
We,
That's not
When
on
Casey
topic.
was running, he was there instantaneously. He got us open because he knew what was most important.
If he were opening you first, then somebody else was waiting longer. That's just the way
He
it
was
is.
opening the school bus routes, the mail routes, and that.
Yeah, but again, we're getting off topic. You wanna complain about, our grader operator, we've had those discussions, multiple.
I got a nasty letter because Lester went and talked to
Yeah.
his
and-
wife, and
yeah,
I
but
didn't have nothing to do with that.
We're getting out of bounds. Let's talk about the tax property valuation,
Yes.
okay? Cause that's not relevant to this at all.
Well, I think there's some culverts you need to dig out up there, Kent.
Duly noted, sir. Duly noted, and we can have follow-ups about that. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, so, we're just about at our 15-minute limit, that we had kind of set so we can move through these. Anything else you want to add, sir?
No,
Julie, anything else that your letter kind of speaks for itself?
Yeah, I think that might have been the only one of his that had any improvements on it.
yes,
So
it is.
the rest of it is basically gonna be ag land that, yeah, I can't make any changes.
Okay, so, I'll make the motion, on, property, on protest number 153, the one we've been discussing, property ID 110385. Bill William Mattoon. My motion is going to, is this gonna be a 1 or a 2, Julie? 2?
I would say number 2.
Yeah. I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time. No evidence was presented to warrant a change. Number 2, that's my motion.
Second.
It could be the number 2 because of the buildings. I think the rest of them would probably be the number 1.
Wings,
Aye.
Runs,
Aye.
Hughley. Wheeler. Aye. Woodruff.
Aye. Okay, next is protest number 154. Again, Mr. Bill Watoon, Arnold, Nebraska. This is property ID 110305. This is the east half southeast quarter of 61626. This is 80 acres. The protest valuation is 76,178, requesting 60,000 on this particular property. It looks to me as though, Bill, you've provided about the same reasons that we've discussed on the
Yes.
previous. Do you have anything?
There's a tract of pasture on that property that has no water. The cattle get up to graze it in the winter, when they're on corn stalks, they can go back over. They have to walk about a mile across there to get the water. So, but otherwise, we can't justify drilling the water for, I believe it's a 60-acre pasture there.
Bill, are they, is that fenced?
Yeah, it was fenced. It used to be a well there, but it was bad years ago.
Julie is, on our mass appraisals on your land, is, water have any relevance to that?
I have never made any adjustments due to the cattle having to walk to water.
Is there any guidelines within the statute that allow you to do that?
None that I'm aware of. I don't think there's anything specifically that addresses that, but
There's a minimum maintenance road that goes up there that never sees a grader either.
And in that situation, those particular kind of roads, if you need attention to those, that's where you'd get a hold of the roads department specifically.
Been done,
Okay.
been done.
Julie, anything, your letter is pretty much the same here. Market Area 2 was only at 65% evaluation for I did my adjustments, raising all 3 classes. You've got those now at 70% of value, so you're requesting no change, you're suggesting no change.
I am, yep.
Any other questions from the board?
What was the percentage value?
70%. And that's where you have to be somewhere in that,
Have to be, and ag land is supposed to be valued at 75%. My acceptable range is 69 to 75.
so we're a little under what you could put it at. And we thank you for doing that. Most of us live in the country. Bill, wish we could do more.
Yeah, Logan County does 68.
Any questions from this board? Anything else you want to add, Bill?
Like I said, I like to see more attention done to that road.
When's the last time you requested attention to it?
Harvest last fall. Well, we requested this spring again. I know Dave called the superintendent about it. He went and worked on it himself. It needs a lot of attention, that just,
Does that road need to be built up?
yes,
It's
it
a
really does.
minimum maintenance road, so graded for passable twice a year.
Yeah, that's,
There are people that on in beyond me that have to haul livestock in there. It's back in to their pasture. They gotta get trailers through there.
Is that the road along the south side of the property?
Yes,
Kramer Road?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, the extension of Kramer Road on east.
Yeah, it goes a little ways past yours, yeah.
Okay, anything else to add on this? Okay, my motion is going to be, I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change to this time. Valuation is equalized with like-kind properties, number 1.
second.
Wings,
Aye.
Runs,
Aye.
Hughley. Wheeler. Woodruff.
All right, okay, next protest is numbered 155. Again, Mr. Bill Watoon, Arnold, Nebraska. This property ID is 107325, is that right? Did I read that 7 correctly?
Yes, I believe so.
107325. This is the northwest quarter and part of the southwest quarter of 12-10-30. This is 280 acres. Bill is protesting the $208,811, requesting $180,000. Would you care to add any particular?
Yes, I'll make a comment. I was in a bitter divorce, and I ended up having to purchase some property to replace some I had to sell, or else suffer the tax consequences. I couldn't find anything up there, so I bought this piece clear down behind North Platte Feeders. It's a sad piece of property. Valuing it $180,000 is a big try. I mean, it's
Can you show me where that's at, Julie?
Yep.
Looks like it's 2 sections southeast of North Platte Feeders.
yeah,
that
about
correct?
right, yeah.
Any cedar trees on that?
Very little cedar trees, there's some dryland farm ground that just blows in.
Still up on the table before you drop, we're into the,
No, I don't think it's quite that far.
is it on Echo? Echo Road?
Echo Road is where North Platte Feeders
That's where it runs in front of it.
runs in front of it.
You turn and go south,
Pull
2
that
miles
map so
past.
that you see a little bit more
2
north.
miles, I think 2 miles.
Is that on Old Highway 83 that you turn and go
I'm trying to
south
find
on?
my roads. This is
No, I turn
loading
off
super, super
83 at
slow, I'm
North Platte
sorry.
Feeders and go, what is it, 3 east, and then
North
turn
Platte
and go
Feeders
1
and-
south.
there's-
Is
oh,
my
okay, that's where you
north
went.
property
Okay.
boundary on the
That
east
would
side
be
of the
old
road.
83, right?
I think that's
I think
old,
that is
that's
Old
Old
Highway
Highway 83.
Could be,
I
That'd be
think,
where the Echo School was, I think.
Yeah.
So that's the parcel. If she scrolls, you can see.
Echo School's actually.
You wanna see the feedlot then?
Yeah,
Okay. there's
that'll
the-
give
I
the
don't remember
relation.
exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's
School
probably
runs
83 over
east
here
and
then.
west and Highway
okay,
80.
I see it now.
I had to beg to get $35 a pair of rent, because people down there are just suffering so bad with the drought. And, I mean, it's terrible. They haven't got the rains that we got, or here got. It's really sad.
Julie, you've taken that into account on your, look.
I
let's
have.
see.
This
This letter is just a little bit different. Can you expound upon it?
Well, I don't have a copy of that letter in front of me, I guess.
Okay, just a minute. Mr. Watoon recently purchased this property in February 2022 for a value above my assessed value. I am required to be at 75% with the acceptable range at 69 to 75. You have that? You paid what you paid for it.
I know what I paid for it, but like
Okay.
I told you, I couldn't find anything. I had 90 days to turn that money or pay taxes.
Yeah.
I
You've
hope
got that
I
on
can
the
roll
seven.
it down the road and
You've got that at 70% too,
Yes.
according to this letter.
Yeah. So I guess we're kind of in the same situation here, Bill. We have to, by state statutes, the assessor's office has to evaluate based on
Market sales.
market sales.
Ironically, that purchase is one of the things that none of us like. You had to pay more than it's worth,
Oh,
for
yeah.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
Whether you wanted to go hunting on it or whether you had to dodge some tax, but there you
It's
go.
nice to hunt on there.
That's what they do, yeah.
So any other questions from this board? Bill, any extra comments that you might have?
No.
Okay, my motion is going to be, I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time. Valuation is equalized with like property. Number one.
Second. Yeah, second.
Williams,
Aye.
Bruns,
Aye.
Healy, Wheeler.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Lee, what is your price down there per acre versus up where he's at?
Like what I have it valued at right now?
Or what is, What's the cost when you look at all of the land down there for this pasture land or whatever it is, what is that down there? That mark there?
That in here with me, what I do with it. In this particular area, my grass
Because I
is
should.
$6.25 an acre,
How much?
$6.25.
Okay,
And the lower quality is 600, but there is some dry land on there, and that's $11.25 in this particular area.
and the grass up there where this whole piece is at?
That is in market area 2, so that one is actually at 690.
Okay, thank you.
Now, correct me, now, part of this parcel is what used to be dry land farming, right?
Yes, it's a dry land. I tried to get it bid in the CRP this year, but didn't get accepted, so they're trying to raise a crop of cane on it.
So you are farming that?
No, I leased it
Oh,
out.
I see, but,
I can't afford to take machinery clear down there.
yeah,
If you get it put into CRP, be sure and let me know, because that value will then fall kind of somewhere between the grass and the dry, okay? So
Okay.
we can make an adjustment.
okay? Did I read in protest 156?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay, next protest is protest number 156, Mr. Bill Wattoon, Arnold, Nebraska. This is the southwest quarter of 19-16-26, 60.94 acres. The valuation is at $162,187. He's requesting $130,000. This particular, do you have anything extra you want to add on this, Bill? This particular parcel?
That piece of ground, my father planted a lot of trees on for livestock protection, which reduces the grazing area considerably. The trees are great, I admit that. It reduces the grazing area quite a bit. I use it for calving, and that's strictly what it's for. And then we don't use that pasture, any of the pastures down in the north in Lincoln County for some range at all.
Where are the trees at?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. We're on this parcel here, so I'm not sure that's one of the trees. Can you see it up there? Is it set right south of where you live? The section where you live?
I
I've
thought
got
he
it
was
up on
on, I
those.
thought he was on 387.
We are.
387.
I must have him wrote down wrong something.
Okay. This is the quarter that sits, looks like directly south of you where you
Yeah,
are
that's off
living.
my house, okay.
Okay, so I don't think
Okay.
there's trees on this one, is
No,
there?
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay,
Or that's farm ground and the other part's grassland.
Right, there is some farm grounds.
There's no water
there is some
on
farm
that.
ground on this piece?
There is no water on that. I just took the fence out after I had inherited that, and they go up to the house to drink now on a quarter north.
Just to this north one here where the house sits.
Yeah.
Okay, this is on 160.94 acres. Again, Julie's letter is fairly direct from the standpoint market. Area 2 was only at 65% before I did my adjustments, raising all three classes of ag land. She has to be somewhere between 69 and 75% per state statute. She's coming in at 70%. So she's recommending no change on this parcel at this time. Any questions from this board for Mr. Wattoon? Bill, do you have anything extra to add?
I guess not.
Okay,
What does Turk normally set things at, if they have to correct anything?
Turk has to make an adjustment because I fell out of compliance. They will set it at mid-range. So ag, I think, is usually set at 72 or 73. I think 72 maybe. And residential is set at 96, residential and commercial, so.
is an option you have is taking this to the Tax Equalization Board Commission, if you disapprove. My motion is I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time. Valuation is equalized with like-kind properties, number one.
Second out and point out that you're correct, 72 is where a Turk would take it. If they didn't like where you were. If you were at 65, for example, or whatever.
Weems,
Aye.
Runs,
Aye.
Hughley, Woodruff.
Aye. Protest number 157, Mr. William Wattoon, Arnold, Nebraska, property ID of 0110370. This is the southwest quarter of 18-16-26, 156.34 acres. Excuse me. The protested value is $103,184. Request is for $84,000. Bill, is there any?
This is the property that has all the trees planted on it.
Some good windbreaks.
Yes, very good windbreaks.
Do we take this into account, Julie, when we look at ag value?
I have never taken out windbreaks or tree strips. It's valued as the lowest class grass usually in that area. So
And if that.
sometimes if they're included, like in a farm site, if there's buildings and stuff around it, it may catch some of those trees, but actually as a farm site, that would be valued probably, it's valued at 100% of market, so it would be higher value than a grassland value, but this particular one, every acre on this section is valued at a grassland value, the $660 an acre. But no, I have made no adjustments to any other parcel in the county.
Okay,
The trees are fenced out, the cattle can't get in. You don't want them in it.
and that's good on your part, sir.
Yeah, you don't want them in the
No,
trees.
no. Any questions from the board? Bill, anything extra you wish to add on this particular parcel?
I have a terrible time accessing that parcel because they need to put a tube in there under the road where I turn in to go to that property. Have my hay pin there also and just have a big pool of water right there all the time.
I sent Jason a reminder to talk about the Kramer Road unimproved, or on a minimum maintenance portion with later bill, so, for my reference, not
Well, this
according.
isn't Kramer, this is down by my house, it's north of my
Yeah.
house.
Well, I assumed it
Oval and
was.
Wattoon, that corner, is that what you're talking about, right there?
You're talking
Well,
about-
I'm talking about north of my house, where you turn into the hay yard
That's
here.
south of Garfield,
Yeah,
yeah, okay. I'm just making a note, sending it to him, thank you.
I've tried building it up, taking dirt out of the ditch and piling it, building it up, but the water just comes right back down, the pool's right there. I had semi loads of hay stuck in there this spring 3 times.
Come up in that circle or what?
No, it's just coming down the road because there's no existing ditch.
Any other questions from the board? Bill, anything else you want to add?
I guess not.
Ken's gonna make a note of some of your
I'm
comments
sending
about the
those-
roads.
I'm sending them to Jason, so
To
we
the
can.
road superintendent right now. Okay, my motion is I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change to this time. Valuation is equalized with like-kind properties, number one.
Second.
Weems,
Aye.
Runs,
Aye.
Hughley, Woodruff.
Aye. Okay, protest number 158, Mr. William Mattoon, Arnold, Nebraska. Property identification number is 110365. This is the northwest quarter of 181626, 150.9 acres. The protested value is $100,425, requesting $82,000 for many of the same reasons that we have already discussed. Bill, can you give me any?
The north well on that property went bad and I am trying to get work through the Farm Service Agency and NRD to help with putting in a new well there. They have to water in a tank in the fence line at the south end on that particular tract. So, and once again, I just use that in the spring, calving time, and then the cattle go on north.
Well, good luck. Hope you can get that extra well, because that would help you out, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a bad deal. It's not a very old well, and they sanded up on us for some reason.
Julie, any other comments on this, other than that you are coming in at 70% of valuation?
No, not on this one.
Very similar to what we've dealt with on the other properties. Colleagues, any questions for Bill or Julie? Bill, any extra comments you'd like to make? No. Okay. My motion, I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no changes that sign valuation is equalized with like-kind properties, number one.
Second. Aye.
Runs.
Aye.
Evelyn. Wheeler.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye. Protest number 159, Mr. William Mattoon, Arnold, Nebraska, property ID 110295. That's a 2, not a 7, right? 295. This is the southwest quarter and west half of the southeast quarter of 6/16/26, 231.99 acres. The protested value is $474,997, requesting $400,000. Can you tell me why this one is valued? Is this valued?
There's a quarter that's irrigated on it.
Oh, okay, that makes the difference, that explains it, okay. The reasons for the protest is some of the things that we've already discussed. Anything you want to add to that, Bill?
Once again, that access road off of Tramer Road over to that is, like I told you, very poor. The road is lower than the remainder, and the water just goes right down the road.
Is that truly a minimum maintenance road?
That portion. That's east of, you're talking about east, between your.
From Wattoon Road on east.
Smith
Yeah.
and Smith's over there, right?
What's that?
Between you and Smith's over there.
Well, no, it's east into Kramer Road, goes on east
Yeah,
off Wattoon Road.
right. I think we're talking about the same thing.
A couple of years,
I know where it's at.
I think a couple of years ago, we made a change at the road department. Minimum maintenance roads, that designation was overused. Is there a sign at the beginning of that road that says gravel only, or gravel ends? We need to look into that.
I sent him a text, we're gonna talk about
I'm taking notes also.
We'll
for
look into
follow-up.
that. In a case like that, we have an awful lot of roads that are regular maintenance roads that need build up, that we are working hard at getting those raised up. I wish we could get to that one too. But understand, being less used, it probably isn't high on their list,
Well,
unfortunately.
the sad part of it is that water comes right down off that hill and goes onto the main county road. And there was a culvert there, but Corbin got his dozer down the ditch and tore it open and
Oh.
smashed it.
Oh,
It runs under the road,
would a culvert in there help out on some of those water issues?
yes.
yeah,
Okay.
Jason and I are talking over it.
Okay,
I have
we'll
it written down.
look into that, sir.
Yeah,
We owe you that.
it just comes pulling right down and just,
Okay, any questions from this board? Anything else you wish to add, Bill?
the dry land is real hilly, it is terraced, so there's quite a bit of it you can't farm because of the terraces. They fill with water,
In a good year, they fill it with water.
yeah.
Any other comments? My motion is I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time. Valuation is equalized with like properties, number one.
Second.
Weems.
Aye.
Runs.
Aye.
Evelyn.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye, and Bill, I want to express our thank you for you to come in and have a discussion with us. We appreciate the conversation and chances to discuss these issues. State statute requires that we have the evaluations where they are. Thank you for coming in, though.
Okay,
Thanks, Bill.
Okay,
Bill,
yes.
here's Todd Herndon, he's our weed control. If you call the office number, Jody will take a note of
Joe,
those
you're gonna be.
noxious
Okay.
weeds up
Well, I
there.
have called
You
noxious
have
weed,
called
yeah.
them, while I'm on their
Okay.
board, I will
Okay.
follow up. We
Okay.
have a meeting Wednesday
Okay,
morning,
that's great.
and this is mine, I'm also on the road committee.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you again, Bill.
You bet. Yep.
Protest number 241, King Mueller. Parcel number 0060945.0. Hillcrest Estates. 16. They're not protesting the land at 18,137, but they are asking that the improvements be reduced from 258,171 to 206,536. Total land improvements from 276,308 to 224,673. Main home of the main bulk of the home is 40 built, 1973 modular moved in with septic system for installation, et cetera. Would be my motion number 7. Then after review and testimony presented to the assessor, I move to vote evaluation the assessor's recommendation as follows. Land 18,137, changing the grade to a 5 for being a modular home, lowering it to 206,536 for a total of $224,673.
Second. Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Runs.
Aye.
Healy.
Protest 172, Krista Hibner at 23841 West Antelope Road, Hershey, Nebraska. ID 0079955.00. All I think it says, I can't read the second word, but all 9.71 acres southeast, 1/2 of 7-13-32, and then 631.87 acres. Protest evaluation, $652,704. Asking for it to be lowered to $636,673. Reason, with amount of taxes, it's hard to continue to make improvements on old wells and fences and break even. Per acre, we are being charged more than people within 10 miles. This was reviewed by Julie Stinger, and there's an attached letter that says, it's on unimproved ag parcel located in Market Area 1. Market Area 1 is currently at 69% of market value based on sales within the current 3-year sales ratio period. Nebraska is currently a market value state. Julia is unable to make any adjustments based on production or income generated. Her recommendation is no change, to leave the land value at $652,704. I'm going with number 4. I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time. Evidence presented does not warrant a change.
Second.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Runs.
Aye.
Healy. Wheeler.
Aye.
Okay, protest number 352, Richard and Susan McCain, South Bear Avenue, North Platte, property identification of 33795, Richland Second Edition, 38-2. They are protesting the land value of $17,493, building of $720, excuse me, for a total of $274,213. They're requesting $11,493 on the land, $244,227 on the buildings, for a total of $255,720. Reason for the request is an increase from the 2022 valuation was 11.54%, according to their figures here. The national inflation rate is only 4%. The proposed change above is about a 7% increase, which seems more fair. There is no evidence that has been presented here. The building, the home looks to be in very good condition. There were no pictures to show anything other than the exterior of the home. There was a comment made that on the 1st of January of this year applied a 1.16 trend adjustment to the land and improvements for 2023 due to falling out of compliance with state mandated ratios. So the recommendation, I'm gonna go with the recommendation of the assessor. I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time. No evidence was presented to warrant a change. So the land stays at $17,493, improvements at $256,720, for a total of $274,213. That's my motion number 2.
Second. Unless Bill or Kent wants to second that.
I'll second.
Sure.
Weems.
Aye.
Brents.
Aye.
Hughley. Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Call him Bill.
Okay, parcel number, or protest number 144. Parcel number is 0003568. This is Justin and Amy Rookstool, part of the Rookstool Administrative Subdivision of, can't read the sublots 1 and 2, approximately 1.43 acres. Is that, have you got it in front of you? There we have it. Okay, so the total land and buildings, it was appraised at, or valued at $762,240. The Rookstools requested a total land and building value of $361,229.54, stating your evaluation's way too high. I have provided receipts as to how much it cost to build this property. Henry reviewed this, why I invited him over to give us a rendition after speaking to the taxpayer and reviewing the information priced the parcel using the income approach. So Henry, for this, my sake and maybe others, walk us through the income approach.
Okay, what I did, I called Commercial Investments,
Mm-hmm.
since they had the income information for me. They didn't have the expenses, so we just used the expenses we do on all the other mini warehouses.
And I did not see the income portion. I saw the
Oh.
expense portion. I couldn't, it's probably in here, I just didn't
Yeah,
find it.
should be.
I just overlooked it somewhere, but go ahead, please.
And then, and then we added in, there's, the office is included in the income part. Then they have a little shop that we added in.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see, did you ever find it?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at it on the, oh, no, I
No,
didn't.
I'm-
I'm sorry, no, I found the pictures of it.
I was just gonna show you quick.
Sure.
It's past, it's probably way at the end.
Way at the end?
What, right before these.
Oh, sure. Throw me a
That's where
curve.
I
Throw
thought.
me a curve.
Okay. Oh, back this way.
This way?
Yep. One more, yeah, this, I think
This
it's the
one?
next, is it the next page? Well, no, must be way at the end then.
Oops. Here, I'll get,
Okay.
I got too many papers here.
I know. But this is where, we added in that extra building, the shop building, into this value. So it'd be into this value. That's the land, that's what we come up with the buildings. And we run it through, this is what the total value.
400,000.
That's without this extra building, then we added the extra building in. Is
Okay,
what
but
we did.
again,
It's done on the income approach, just like we do all
yep,
other.
well, I understand
God,
You're just getting terrible messy.
I'm just throwing everything.
I get the fact that, I get the difference between income approach and valuation, but I'm trying to see your formula for arriving. I mean, I didn't see the revenue stream compared to the expense.
Oh, here's the revenue. There were 20 units, and he's renting them out at $325. And then we give them all a 35% vacancy. And the big part of that vacancy there is unpaid rent on them. That's where, because we found a lot of them, they're 100% full,
Is any of
but
that-
there's people not paying.
Is there anything factored in for just a turnover and some being empty part of the year?
Well, yeah, that'd be part of what this vacancy is.
So that
That's
that
plus.
encompasses that 35%.
Yeah, that they're not, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so various and intermittent rentals.
Right.
And on top of
Rent they're not
non-paying,
collecting, yeah.
non-paying renters is your
Right.
35% factor for
Yep.
depreciation
Yep,
or effectively.
and we figure that for all of
You
them.
know, no question, but, they're gonna show you the income on what their actual income was. Wouldn't that take into account the vacancy? Wouldn't that take into account?
No, we figure potential gross. That's potential gross. Is a
Oh,
325.
I'm sorry. No, so, but, you don't have a revenue stream from last year for them? An actual revenue stream?
No, he didn't.
They're
Oh, I
brand new.
apologize.
We
I'm
just,
sorry.
yeah, we just got the 20 and did a
Just
potential.
what you did yourself?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
thank you.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He didn't have it, and he didn't know his exact expenses, so we just used what we did on
So
everything
to
else.
Joe's point though, that's, just because we didn't have a history, because this is a new parcel?
Mhm.
Okay. Because I agree
Yeah.
with Joe, that's spot on.
Right,
Show me what your revenue's been the last
Right.
2 years.
and usually we get them, well, what we do is we call around and get their potential gross. We find out what they're charging for each unit, and,
But if he did a protest, you know, it'd be easy to say, bring me here. Like you
Yeah.
say your revenue stream, then you've got it. There's no guessing. no
Right,
Factors,
and-
no, you know, moving out early factor. That's, it is, gives you a pretty good number.
Yeah, so
Right.
how long has this property been available for rent?
oh, when did it get? It was
I think
built,
just built last
Because-
year.
yeah.
Because again, to Joe's point, the ones that I've seen you work in
Uh-huh.
the last 5 sessions of this, that was.
Yeah, it
that
was built in 21.
Front and center, what was evaluated was
Yeah,
proven revenues,
it was shown in 21.
and he didn't provide you any of those solid numbers for.
No, these we all got, I got these from Commercial Investments, who's leasing them out.
So
The
you did-
325.
You got it from his property manager.
Right, but they're not, he's paying all his own expenses. And he never got the expenses to me, so we just use the expenses we do on everybody.
Okay,
We
so,
equalize, I
so
mean, we
Steph
use
is,
them on them.
Steph is managing these 20 units.
Yep, he's
Right.
renting them out, but he's not paying the expenses. The guy
Okay,
pays his
but-
own utilities and all that
But
stuff.
where's the income statement for those 20 units,
The
or-
income statement.
for the prior year?
We just use 325.
I know, but
We don't-
you're guessing on.
Well, that's what they're renting them out for. We're using potential gross.
Okay. So
And
you're-
then you take off the
you're telling-
35% to
you're
get your
saying
net.
that in order to, you're maximizing the return they could have
Right,
for your base. Okay,
absolutely,
okay,
yep.
got it.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then we take off the vacancies and
Okay,
then figure their expenses. We do the same on all of them.
so then when you come to this magic number of, taking it from
460.
762,240 to 361,229.
We're at 463.
Oh, yeah, oh, sorry.
Yep, yep, yep.
463,910, I'm sorry.
Yep.
So,
That's this number plus that extra shop added in. This number.
okay, But anyway, so for the record, the other thing I'm trying to put down on the record is that it's the same definitive, structured evaluation of income versus expense.
Right,
That you
that
would
we do on any
income. Okay.
mini warehouse that we have.
All right, so that's basically, doesn't have its category, we're just gonna make a motion that we're getting reevaluated as a.
As an income approach.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Thank you, Henry. I just wanted to make sure that gets clarified for the record. Okay. So did I gave you the parcel number and the ID? Does that ID match up? Must have, you pulled it up on the screen. So to recap, Henry did take the approach of income versus expense, and also to further clarify, extrapolated the potential maximum revenue based on the unit values of going rates for those type of revenue generating storage units. So Henry broke it down like this: the land at $157,950, the buildings at $305,960, for a total value of $463,910. And again, arriving at the structured income approach for values on like properties. Therefore, my motion is to approve this based on the income approach to evaluate the property's true value, true cost, or true value, yes, thank you.
Second.
Brent,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Wheeler,
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
I have protest number 318, Mr. Chairman. It's from Amani and Jody Orr. The parcel ID, the property ID number is 6835.00. The real property description is the Allura Edition, west half of Lot 6, all of Lot 5, Block 4. 4-13-30 west. The protested valuation for 2023 has land at $12,859, buildings at $150,783, for a total valuation of $163,642. The requested valuation has land dropping down to $11,528, buildings at $135,184, for a total valuation of $146,712. Reason for the requested valuation change, quite a bit. They say that the house is old. It was built in 1942. It needs all new plumbing and electrical. It was just out in May 2023. Had a sewer backup issue. The laundry room, utility room had about 2 inches of water. Go on about the cost to replace that because everything's underneath the concrete as far as the line is concerned. Electrical has never been updated. They say that the driveway and attached garage floods with every heavy rainstorm. They have to pump it out. They state that the vinyl siding and windows all need replaced. The windows are original to the house. Vinyl siding has holes in it. Say we have no outbuildings on the property, just the attached 2-car garage that can only house smaller vehicles due to headspace. There have been no updates since they moved in 2016. Other than they painted a small room in the basement. They have no new electrical or plumbing, no new carpeting, no new kitchen, no new bathrooms, no new paint, no new lighting. The lights are original to the house with ballast lighting. They did supply quite a few photos. The photos look pretty expected based on the age of the home. There is some evidence that, maintenance could be there, but looked like Henry reviewed this after reviewing taxpayer information. He repriced the parcel using the new costing. He removed essential air from above the garage, like that was done in error. And doing that and the new costing has changed the Valuation, the new recommendation has land dropping down a couple of dollars to $12,857. Buildings drop down to $133,582 for a total valuation just a little bit less than what they were requesting at $146,439. Would be my motion reason number 7 that after testimony and evidence presented to the assessor, I move to lower the valuation to assessor's recommendation of the numbers that I read into the record.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Butcher.
Aye.
Weems. Brents.
Aye.
Protest number 246, Levi and Joyce Anderson, property number 001085.0. It's Rosia's second edition, west half of 5. They're asking for a total land improvements to be reduced from 25,977 to 16,863. Says the mobile home is damaged and destroyed, the interior by tenants. See attached pictures, there's a roof in the, hole in the roof of the mobile home. It, Charity reviewed this and changed the condition to very poor on the mobile home. It's only valued at like $835 or something. The majority of the value is on the garage. So it would be my motion number 7, that after testimony and evidence presented to the assessor, I move to lower the assessor's new recommended valuation of $12,735 on the land, $12,004 on the building, for a total of $24,739, number 7.
Second. Aye.
Butcher.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Brents.
Abstain because I missed most of that.
Healy.
Aye.
Valuation 280, LaShalle Berwick, 1801 East Fifth Street, property ID 0032125.00. Platteview subdivision, north 100 feet of south 116 feet of, can't read that, 88 feet, 20 acres. Tested valuation, land 5,583, building 69,852 for a total of 75,435. Requesting lowering the land to $5,006, buildings to $62,626 for a total of $67,632. Reasons for request: comparable homes in my neighborhood are valued much lower and are not having their value jump year to year nearly as much as mine. See attached information. She did attach 2 homes as comparisons, but not really, I think there might be one picture. Looks like it's information maybe printed off a Zillow or a service like that. She says, I have attached 2 comparable homes that demonstrate 2 points. 1, my home valuation is too high, and 2, my taxes have unreasonably increased since 2021 when compared to other homes in my neighborhood. And she goes on to give a bit of detail. This was reviewed by Henry, and he did reprice using updated costing. And his recommendation is to leave the land at $5,583 and lower the buildings to $59,408 for a total of $64,991. So actually several $1,000s lower than her request. My recommendation is going to be number 7. After testimony and evidence presented to the assessor, I move to lower the valuation to the assessor's recommendation.
Second.
Butcher.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Brents.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Protest number 310, Michelle Fletcher, 2101 Anna Avenue here in North Platte. The property ID is 43210. Thomas Edition, the east 18.26 feet of 21 and all of 22. I believe that's what that says. They are protesting the valuation of land at $16,959, building of $201,492, total valuation of $218,451. They're requesting a valuation of $175,000 total, which, if you look at the pictures and the information presented, there's a reason why why Charity was in agreement that there are multiple problems with the property. Appears multiple condition issues throughout the house, flooring to be part of it, drywall, several problems inside and around the house. So I am going to concur with with Charity's recommendation here. This is going to be, I moved number 4. I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time. Evidence present. No, that's not right. I'm going to lower it. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Back up. Number 7, after testimony and evidence presented by the assessor, I move to lower the valuation to the assessor's recommendation, which would be land stays the same at $16,959, improvements $160,752, which is a significant drop, and the pictures would warrant that drop, for a total of $177,711. Number 7.
Second.
Sorry, I misspoke. I had several of them, there was no change, and I was kind of stuck there.
Second.
Weems.
Aye.
Brents.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Protest number 6 from Amanda Zeller. Parcel ID is 26360. Described as 1601 North Sheridan. Part of the Lincoln Highway 7th Edition, 22. The protested value is an aggregate of $47,500 with a requested discount value to total land and buildings at $40,000. Notations, comments from Ms. Zeller. We were reassessed last year and have not done any future enhancements to the property to have raise in value. A raise in value. If anything, this home needs updates and repairs, why are we being assessed for caring for our yard? Charity looked at this one, and I will note for the record, Ms. Zeller requested a referee, and I also made notations on that form that after consulting with the deputy county clerk, in fact, Ms. Zeller declined the meeting with the referee and resigned to just visiting with the assessors in review. So that is duly noted. Charity was requesting photos as a subsequent property that I'll read into the record later, but no photos were received as promised. So therefore, she recommended no change for insufficient evidence. I would say actually no evidence, which is a number 2 motion. Because the photos never came, and so did not receive anything from the property owner. So the land would stay at $10,412, the improvements at $74,868, for a total $85,280. A motion is number 2.
Second.
Brents.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I have protest number 317. This is from a Robert Whitson. Property ID is 30845.00. Real property description is Obermeyer's replat, lot number 4. The protested valuation for 2023 has land at $22,497, buildings at $24,941, for a total valuation of $47,938. Requested valuation has land dropping down to $9,405, buildings dropping down to $21,138 for a total valuation of $30,543. Reason for the requested valuation change is nothing has changed other than duplexes being built next to me. Looks like Charity reviewed this with the property owner. Several condition issues are present. No updates have been made to the mobile home. She did go ahead and change the condition to fair after reviewing everything with the property owner. That changed their recommendation for valuation. That has land at staying the same at $22,497. Improvements down to $21,299 for a total valuation dropping down to $43,796. Photos and what was supplied, I would agree with Charity, and it would be my motion, reason number 8, that after inspection and review by the assessor, I move to lower the value due to condition of the property to the recommendation, the new recommendation from the assessor's office that I read into the record.
Second.
Bailey?
Aye.
Ruler?
Aye.
Woodruff?
Aye.
Weems?
Aye.
Runs.
All right,
Protest number 247, Gary and Teresa Gallagher. PI number 0010055.0. That's Bratton Goodman edition 1016. We're asking land improvements be reduced from $137,756 to $123,505. They have a foundation issue caused by water damage. In my motion number 7, that after testimony and evidence presented, the assessor, I move to lower to the values the assessor's new recommendation as follows. Land 8,213, buildings 124,053 for a total of 132,266. I gave a 10% postal depreciation for the foundation condition.
Second.
Ruler?
Aye.
Woodruff?
Aye.
Weems?
Aye.
Runs.
all right.
Bailey?
All right,
Next, 188, Paul Knopik, 9109 Maloney Drive, property ID 0087153.92. Rothmeyer Lakeview Acres, Lot 6, Block 2, 1 acre. Protested valuation, land 52,272, buildings 257,831, for a total of $310,103. He's requesting land to stay the same, buildings to be lowered to $210,524, for a total of $262,796. Reason for request, since 2018, the dwelling value has only gone down. This year, the dwelling valuation unjustifiably jumped 18%, or $47,307, without any improvements. See attached for Zillow valuation increases of 3% for our area. The house hasn't been updated since it was built in 1999. The home is getting older. Comparable homes in size and quality are on attached pages. Many of these have more bedrooms. And I think Julie explained to us earlier that bedrooms really don't have much impact. And he did attach some Zillow printouts for comparisons. It was reviewed by Charity. Charity says no change. Property was purchased on 5/19 of 2022 for $335,000. Nebraska law requires that we value residential property at 100% of market value. So her recommendation is no change. And I'm gonna go with number 4. I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time. Evidence presented does not warrant a change.
Second.
Woodruff?
Aye.
Weems?
Aye.
Runs.
All right.
Bailey?
aye.
Ruler?
Aye.
Okay, protest number 349, Mary Jo Hutton, 2008 West First here in North Platte. Property ID is 42975. This is is Lot 2, Block 3, Thomas Edition here in North Platte. Protesting the valuation of $87,278, requesting $80,600. Reason for the request is condition of the house require quite a bit of work, and, that would certainly fit with the pictures that were presented. Notation from Charity Farley was that, looking at the photos, house is dated, all trim needs scraped and painted, cracks in the veneer. The electrical box evidently is kind of a mess and outdated as well. A lot of things that needed to be changed and updated on this house. So I am going to concur after testimony. My motion will be after testimony and evidence presented to the assessor. I move to lower the valuation to the assessor's recommendation number 7, which will be land will stay at $12,557. The improvements will be lowered to $69,797 for a total of $82,354. Number 7.
Second.
James.
Aye.
Runs.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Ruler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
All right.
Protest number 7 from Amanda Zeller, described as 1115 North Dewey, parcel number 0000410, 410.00. This is protested at an aggregate value at $67,854 and requesting an aggregate value of $45,000. Ms. Zeller states, "We've not done any updates to this home since the last valuation. You're increasing it $24,000. This home needs many improvements." This was also, for the record, one that requested a referee and then verbally declined per the clerk's office, and agreed to just visit with the folks in the assessor's office. So I made a notation on that form, reaffirming that and initialed it. Ashley reviewed, recommended no change for the insufficient evidence, or basically no evidence, because the pictures that were requested were never delivered. So the land would the land would stay at $22,492, and the improvements would stay at the current value of $44,862 for an aggregate of $67,354. My motion is to agree with this, no change, number 2.
Second.
Runs.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Ruler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I have protest number 316. This is from a Kathy Albrecht, or Albright, however you want to pronounce it, and a Philip Menard. Property ID is 46705.00. Its real property description is the West End addition, north half, the west half. They did not completely identify that. Bear with me. North half of the west half of lot 6, 0.488 acres. The protested valuation for 2023 has land at $19,989, buildings at $70,091 for a total valuation of $90,080. Requested valuation has land staying the same, buildings dropping down to $62,000 even, for a total valuation of $81,989. Reasons for the requested valuation change: the house is nowhere near that valuable. It needs plumbing, siding, windows, and electrical. It is more like a shed. Looks like they did supply photos. Henry reviewed everything with the taxpayer. They did not request a referee. After Henry reviewed everything, he did change the condition to below normal, which the photos absolutely suggest is the case. I concur with that. Therefore, the new recommendation for valuation has land staying the same at $19,989. Buildings dropping down to $65,282 for total valuation of $85,271. Number 8, it would be my motion that after inspection and review by the assessor, I move to lower the value due to the condition of the property to the valuation recommendation that I read into the record.
Second.
Egley,
Aye.
Wheeler,
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Brents.
Aye.
Protest number 362, John and Michelle R. McFarland. In fact, have about 5 of them, it looks like, or more, but anyway, 362 it is parcel number or property number 0062660.00, part of the northeast quarter of 51430, 158.29 acres. They're saying, I believe the land values have increased so significantly in 22 that they would justify assessed value in 2023. Therefore, I believe the 21 value is more accurately reflect the current value. And I think I put the wrong note. I believe I would move number 2 to accept the I didn't read what they asked. Land is 103,163, and it's only land, they're asking it be reduced to 95,368. The referee, there was no referee, the assessor's recommending no change. Be my motion number 2. I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time, as no evidence was presented of warrant change. Number 2, 103,163.
Second.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Brents.
Aye.
Egley.
Aye.
Protest 185, Sandra Jean Stewart at 603 Frontier Drive, North Platte, ID 0088174.00, 603 Frontier Drive, Lake Maloney, Lot A. Protesting total valuation of $100,000, requesting that it be lowered to $48,375. Reason is comparables, 642 Frontier Drive, Lot 25, sold October of 2022 for $64,500. Lot 678 Frontier Drive, Lot A, sold May 20th, 2022, or it's May 2022 for $32,250. I don't believe there was any pictures or other evidence attached
I believe they're
other than this
considerably small.
statement.
This is a leasehold interest only.
This is
as long
a
as you know
leasehold
that. Yeah, there's
interest
no-
only,
No
yes.
structures there.
Right.
Okay.
So, county assessor, it was reviewed by Charity. Value is for leasehold interest only. Sales and Frontier Resort support this value. Her recommendation is to leave it at $100,000. My recommendation is number 4. I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor, which indicates no change at this time. Evidence presented does not warrant a change.
Second.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems. Brents.
Aye.
Egley.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Okay, protest 170, Calvin Hibner, 17334 West State Farm Road, Hershey, Nebraska. Property identification is 80285. Legal description is part of the north half of 20-13-32. 30.01 acres. The property owner is protesting the valuation of $298,975, requesting $252,188. Reason for the protest was no improvements on property or house, and he is quoting or showing pictures of a number of depreciation and foundation issues, siding needed, and some outside concrete work that looks like it's very defective. Ashley reviewed this and added a 15% functional depreciation for those foundation issues and a lot of that concrete work that is defective. So this is going to be a my motion will be to, after testimony and evidence presented to the assessor, I move to the lower the valuation of the assessor's recommendation, which is land at $43,162, improvements at $233,129, for a total of $276,000. Julie, we've got a number missing in that.
276,291.
291. Can I put that one in there? Okay. Thank you. So that's my recommendation. My motion would be number 7.
Second.
Haynes,
Aye.
Brent,
Aye.
Peterly,
Aye.
Wheeler,
Aye.
Bless you.
Aye.
Bless you.
what?
Aye.
What?
No, please,
Him? Woodruff, got it.
Aye.
you want me to give him your red pin for the change?
Yes.
I can't use this, I can't click it.
That is the reason. Because I will click it.
Okay, thank you.
Protest 348, Mr. Brad Sadoff. This is parcel 79000. Described as part of Patterson's addition 3 and 4. I believe the physical address is 612 East 2nd in Hershey. Can't read that one. No, somebody spilled something on that one. Okay, the protested aggregate value for land and improvements is $93,412. And the requested revaluation lowered to, on aggregate, is $83,149. Mr. Sadoff indicates the foundation, I assume that's, I'm paraphrasing here, foundation means foundation issues, leaking pipes, exposed outdated windows, 18-year flooring, 30-year windows, 15-year carpet. There are a myriad of detailed up and close photographs provided to Ashley, who reviewed, affirming the somewhat dilapidated condition of some of the issues in the house and the basement and the plumbing and the exposed wiring. Ashley took a look at all this and changed the condition to below normal and added an additional 5% functional depreciation. She has in parentheses 10% total, so it already had 5. See notes on 05, and I'll just read them for the record. Ashley states, after speaking with the owner and reviewing these photos, changed the condition to below normal. Pictures provided show that house does need some updates done. Windows are older and needs replaced. There is exposing wiring that still needs to be fixed. Water damage, tub and bathroom leaks, missing linoleum flooring. In the laundry room, the basement, drywall still needs to be finished where there's an electrical fire. And also added 5% more functional for the basement issues. These pictures confirm all of those things. Therefore, I'm gonna make a motion to addition reduction number 8, based on Ashley's recommendation, leaving the land at $18,025. lowering the improvements to 65,797 for a total value of 83,822 on the number 8. That's it.
Second.
Friends,
Aye.
Hughley,
Aye.
Wheeler,
Aye.
Woodruff,
Aye.
Weems.
Mr. Chairman, I have protest number 140. This is from a Randy Fairchild and a Deborah Hogue. The property ID number is 9230.00. The real property description is Koski replat, part of lots 8 and 9, Cody Land and Cattle, 2-1 TP. The protested valuation for 2023 has land at $23,594, buildings at $101,355, for a total valuation of $124,949. Requested valuation brings all that down to a total valuation for land and buildings at $100,432. Reasons for the requested valuation change: they've done no improvements to the property, we have dirt roads all around us, neighbors to the south are hoarders and have junk, period, everywhere, period. Looks like Charity reviewed this. She makes notes, they did supply quite a few photos showing below normal condition to their property. Charity's notes say she received photos with the protest. Condition is already below normal due to the siding that is rotting and other exterior condition issues. House is just a modular, changed the grade to 5. In making that change, the calculations came out slightly different. The county assessor's recommendation changes have land staying the same at $23,594, improvements dropping down to $83,668 for a total valuation of $107,262. Number 7, it would be my motion that after testimony and evidence presented to the assessor, I move to lower the valuation to the assessor's recommendation.
Second.
Hughley,
Aye.
Wheeler,
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Friends.
Aye.
Looks almost identical to the one I did. Even to the amount and the thing in the back. It's interesting. I wonder if it split, I wonder if there were two things the same.
Deju.
Deja vu?
Deja vu.
All over again.
Deju.
Okay, protest number 363,
Juju.
John R. and Michelle McFarland. DI number 0062695.0. It's the north half of the southeast quarter of 171430. It's an 80 acre tract. They're asking the land be reduced from 88,000, 4,000. I don't believe the land values have increased so significantly in 22. It would justify assessed value in 2023. Feel the 21 value is more accurate. In my motion number 4, that after I move to accept the recommendation to the assessor, which indicates no change at this time, evidence presented does not warrant a change. Number 4.
Second.
Wheeler,
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Friends.
Aye.
Hughley.
Protest number 230, Vicky Lynn Woodward, and then in parentheses it says Harwood, 2821 West 6th Street, North Platte, Nebraska, Swanson Second Subdivision, 68. The current evaluation, land $8,045, building $44,550, total $52,595. The requested valuation would like land lowered to $72,012, buildings to $39,941, for a total of $47,153. Reasons for the request: property needs many repairs such as new windows, doors, paint, and siding work, needs new heat and cooling system. They did provide many pictures, and the pictures do speak to the poor condition of the property. It was reviewed by Ashley, and she did remove the central air and change the heat to other. Main source is a stove, and added 10% functional depreciation for water damage to the ceilings. The land is gonna stay at $8,045. The improvements did lower to $40,644 for a total valuation of $48,689. My recommendation is number 7. After testimony and evidence presented to the assessor, I move to lower the valuation to the assessor's recommendation.
Second.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Raines.
Aye.
Brent. Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Protest number 168, Mr. Jerome J. Johnson, 1301 William Avenue here, North Platte. Property ID of 38510, Southfield Second Edition, 2831 TP. They're protesting the valuation of $237,615, requesting $208,031. He's basing that on property in his location on either side of William Avenue. There were several pictures that were in regards to some of the kitchen and some things in regards to fireplace and bathrooms, which does kind of speak to what Charity is reviewing. And she has made the notation that changed the condition to good and corrected that fireplace to masonry with gas insert, and corrected the bathrooms to 1 full with an extra sink and 1 3/4 bath. So my recommendation is gonna be this motion of, after testimony and evidence presented to the assessor, I move to lower the valuation of the assessor's recommendation, which the land will stay at the $19,842, but improvements will be $195,760 for a total of $215,602. That would be my recommendation, number 7.
Second.
Raines.
Aye.
Brent.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
All right.
Protest is number 398, Mr. Brent Gartrell. The property ID is 0102430. Described as, well, first it's described as 27 acres, 1 home, an outbuilding and shed, small set of corrals. Part of the south half of the northwest quarter of section 20, township 10, range 32, and then it says 20.64 acres. At any rate, it's an acreage with a home. Parcel ID number, you don't have one for that? Let me look back at the property card. Let's try that again. About 102430. 102430.00. Does that ring a bell? Maybe?
See?
Big prize are done.
Yep.
Is that it? All right. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, on that part, since we have that clarified, comments, well, first of all, the protested tax value is $179,805. The requested drop to $160,000 aggregate. The comment from Mr. Gartrell is nothing on our property's changed from last year. There's no reason to increase our taxes. He's referencing that no change because the prior evaluation was $160,000 and change, and a few dollars. Anyway, Charity reviewed it. There was no evidence presented otherwise, just the comments. She recommended no change without evidence to warrant a change. Land $67,960, improvements of $111,845. And again, the aggregate value at $179,805, so my motion is to approve, her recommendation of no change, which is a number 2.
Second.
Runs,
Aye.
Healy,
Aye.
Wheeler,
Hi.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I have protest number 180. This is from a Schundhoff Property Development LLC. The property ID number, or the property ID is 1820.00. The real property description is original town, east half of lot 6 and all of lot 7, block 67. The protested valuation for 2023 has land at $38,927, improvements at $94,826, for a total valuation of $133,753. The requested valuation has everything, land and buildings, valued at $123,799. Reason for the requested valuation change is that the building is over 100 years old. It's a single-family home. Building is in disrepair, plaster stucco on the exterior is disintegrating, and the foundation is starting to crumble. They did provide quite a few photos showing their points. However, Ashley reviewed this and she recommends a no change. The house is already in below normal condition. Requested interior pictures from the owner and never received any. This did go to a referee. The referee reviewed the information and testimony and made a recommendation that the information presented by the owner was not sufficient to legitimize a decrease in value. It is both the assessor and the referee's recommendation that land stay at $38,927, improvements stay at $94,826, and a total valuation for land and improvements at $133,753. Number 5, I move to accept the recommendation of the assessor and referee, which indicates no change at this time. Evidence presented does not warrant change.
Second.
Healy,
Aye.
Wheeler,
Hi.
Woodruff,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Runs.
Aye.
I will take the last protest here since we're approaching 3 o'clock. This will be protest number 175 of Michael and Teresa Piccolo, 415 South Maloney Drive. Property ID is 87680, Lake Maloney Lot 165. They are protesting the valuation on the buildings only of $563,377, requesting $468,000. They are basing this basically on the tax assessment and the amount of increase that has occurred just in the last year, 2023. It went up very significantly, and they are protesting that this is not a typical residential property. Ashley did review this. She changed the year build on the boathouse to 1950, but condition to very good, since there's been quite a few updates to that, and the pictures do attest that. Changed the year on the pergola to 2017. So this was reduced not nearly as significantly as requested, but this would be a number 7. After testimony and evidence presented to the assessor, I move to lower the valuation to the assessor's recommendation, which land is 0, obviously, improvements, and then the total would be $555,922, number 7.
I think Mr. Piccolo was gonna either show up today or tomorrow to bring some photos. Called on that yesterday. Charity, that's why I was just checking with Charity. Do you mind? They called Friday, I guess, afternoon. Somebody's supposed to come today. They haven't seen him yet, but can we hold off on that one just a minute? Or till next time? Then get you called quickly. Okay, thanks. Somebody called me Friday afternoon and wanted to bring some photos.
Mayframe House.
Nice house. I actually really like A-frame homes.
That looks really nice.
For sale, you can buy it. What's apron?
Does it have a pool?
Got a great big lake out
Wonder if
back.
they'd sell it to me for what they think it's worth.
So you want a smaller pond, you want
Private.
a private.
Julie, you want this back?
Well, you.
I'll bring it over there.
Sorry, yes, Andrea, I didn't get to.
No, that's all right, that's all right. Do you wanna hold off on that one then?
Did you make a motion?
No, no motion.
Thank you.
Okay, guess we're done for the day. We will okay, just a minute here. Anything else, guys? Troops? Okay, we will recess as Lincoln County, it is 3:00. Recess the Lincoln County Board of Equalization, and we will reconvene as the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners. We will meet again Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Okay? So I am going to adjourn